Have you ever wondered how our grandmothers and mothers could whip up a hearty hot breakfast for the whole family on a holiday without breaking a sweat in the kitchen? The secret lies in smart casseroles, from cheesy bread bakes, flavorful Mexican huevos rancheros, fragrant blueberry butter French toast, to crispy tater tots. Let's discover 20 smart holiday breakfast casserole recipes that grandmas loved, which are quick, delicious, and make every festive breakfast special. Biscuits and gravy casserole. When she needed a truly filling holiday breakfast without standing by the stove for hours, Grandma turned the traditional biscuits and gravy into a convenient casserole, a genius solution for holiday morning meals. This dish was extremely popular in southern rural families before World War II, an icon of early comfort food. Grandma would use stale biscuits, tear them into bite-sized pieces, then mix them with gravy made from pork sausage, evaporated milk, and black pepper. Eggs were lightly beaten and poured over the entire mixture, then baked until golden brown and bubbly. The smart trick here is that using stale biscuits helps the dish absorb the rich gravy better, creating a savory, melt-in-your-mouth, pudding-like texture. This was an extremely popular holiday breakfast, keeping the whole family full without taking up time, allowing the cook to join the family for present opening, and enjoying the festive atmosphere. Amish breakfast casserole. With a practical and nutrient-rich cooking style, the Amish community created an incredibly rich casserole without needing cream or milk, a unique innovation from the 1950s to 1980s. This dish uses a pound of bacon cooked until crisp, combined with hash browns and sweet onions. The richness primarily comes from the large amount of cheese, including cottage cheese along with cheddar and Swiss, ensuring the meal is filling and nutritious. Bacon grease is also used to enhance the savory flavor. Since no liquid milk is used, this dish can be prepared up to 2 days ahead or even frozen for up to a month. Extremely convenient for holiday menu planning. This dish is associated with the Pennsylvania Dutch and Midwest regions, reflecting the simple, rustic, yet nutrient-rich cooking style of the Amish community. Serving large crowds on holidays, a testament to Grandma's smart ingenuity. Just mix all the ingredients together, bake, and the dish serves many people. Hash brown casserole. During the challenging Great Depression era, when resources were scarce and people had to tighten their belts, our grandmothers maximized the use of inexpensive ingredients to create this hearty meal, the baked hash brown with evaporated milk. To make this dish, Grandma started by peeling and shredding potatoes into thin strands, then mixing them with chopped onion. A can of evaporated milk was poured in, creating richness and a creamy texture for the mixture. A little inexpensive bacon or sausage was added, then everything was mixed thoroughly so that each potato strand was coated with flavor. She arranged the mixture in a baking dish and baked it until the top was golden and fragrant. Homemakers chose to use evaporated milk instead of fresh milk because evaporated milk had a longer shelf life and gave the dish a rich, thick texture while saving costs. This dish was popular during the Great Depression, the ancestor of modern hash brown casseroles, demonstrating the resourcefulness and survival ingenuity of our grandparents. A deeply emotional story about a difficult time. Easy breakfast casserole. If our grandparents needed a quick filling breakfast that didn't waste any ingredients, they immediately thought of this open fridge bake, a popular tradition in the Midwest and rural America during the 1950s to 1970s. The core recipe is incredibly simple, requiring only eggs, milk, cheddar cheese, and cubed stale bread. Afterward, Grandma could freely add leftover ingredients from dinner like bacon, ham, or vegetables such as mushrooms and broccoli. The key point is to use stale bread or dry the bread first so that it soaks up the egg-milk mixture without becoming soggy, ensuring the casserole maintains its structure. This dish could be prepared ahead of time and refrigerated overnight, making Christmas morning easy, allowing everyone to focus on enjoying the holiday instead of rushing in the kitchen. It's a convenient breakfast, showcasing Grandma's smartness in managing holiday time, minimizing household chores, a symbol of old-fashioned ingenuity. This casserole evokes a sense of familiarity, recalling the old values of rural life. Ham and cheese breakfast casserole. After a hearty Christmas dinner, our grandmothers always had an ingenious way to turn leftover ham into a delicious and convenient breakfast for the next day. This dish was popular across the Midwest and East Coast from the 1960s to 1980s. The main ingredients are diced ham, cheddar or Swiss cheese, eggs, and whole milk. White bread was often cut into triangles and layered beautifully in the pan. Sometimes Grandma added sliced tomatoes for extra color and bright flavor. To achieve the perfect soft and tender texture, this casserole must be refrigerated for at least 12 hours or even up to 48 hours before baking. This long soaking time helps the bread fully absorb the liquid, creating a crispy egg crust and a soft, rich, delicious center. This is ideal for utilizing leftover ham after the holiday, a familiar dish for Christmas and Thanksgiving breakfasts, demonstrating the ingenuity and frugality of the previous generation. When baked, the dish forms a delicious egg crust and a soft, tender center. Definitely a nostalgic meal everyone remembers. Denver omelet hash brown casserole. If there was a lot of ham left over from the holiday dinner, the casserole version of the Denver omelet was Grandma's smart answer. This dish is associated with Colorado and the Midwest from the 1960s to 1980s, helping utilize leftover ham and serving a substantial holiday breakfast without requiring much time standing at the stove. The egg custard is mixed with milk, sour cream, and hot sauce for richness and depth, using pepper jack and cheddar cheeses. Grandma usually sautéed the ham and vegetables first to enhance the flavor and reduce moisture, only then layering the potatoes and the egg milk mixture on top. The smart secret is that she could prepare the entire dish ahead of time and refrigerate it for up to 12 hours, then just pop it into the oven on holiday morning. This brought a classic diner breakfast right to the home without huge effort. This hearty dish is not just breakfast, but also a wonderful way to carry on the tradition of using leftovers from the previous generation, a highly resourceful cooking strategy. It recreates the classic flavor of a Denver omelet with frozen hash browns as the base, combined with diced ham, green bell peppers, and onion. Corned beef tater tot casserole. Back in the day, your grandma turned a hearty breakfast hash into a convenient casserole, combining savory corned beef with crispy tater tots. This tater tot casserole was popular in the Midwest in the 1970s, combining breakfast and the leftover tradition. Corned beef from a can or leftovers is sautéed with onion and green bell peppers. Then, this mixture is layered with cheddar cheese and frozen tater tots. The egg milk mixture is poured over and sprinkled with the characteristic spice, smoked paprika, to create an explosive flavor. This is a great way to utilize leftover corned beef after the holiday dinner, creating a unique flavor that recalls the classic corned beef hash. Although this dish has a total cooking time of about 70 minutes, its make-ahead nature allows the busy mom to focus on other holiday tasks. This rich, hearty dish demonstrates the versatility and convenience of the breakfast casserole, as it can be served for breakfast, brunch, or dinner, combining traditional breakfast elements and being very easy to make. Huevos Rancheros Casserole. For families with roots in the American Southwest, the holiday breakfast wouldn't be complete without a touch of warm Mexican flavor, and this casserole is the perfect solution to serve everyone at once. This dish is an expanded version of traditional huevos rancheros, with layers of salsa, crumbled corn tostadas, pinto beans, green onions, and Mexican cheese blend. A distinctive feature is the eggs cracked directly into small indentations on the filling layer and baked. Our grandmother cleverly used the back of a spoon to create small wells on the salsa layer, ensuring each egg stayed in place and cooked perfectly, creating a beautifully finished dish that maintained the Mexican flavor in the holiday breakfast. This dish was extremely popular in the Southwest, Texas, and California from about 1970 to 1990, offering a rich, distinct flavor compared to traditional Midwest-style casseroles. This hearty dish frees the cook from having to fry eggs to order, short-order cook. Instead of the effort of standing by the stove for each person, this casserole helps serve a flavorful breakfast for a crowd, demonstrating creativity in simplifying a traditional dish. The incorporation of crumbled tostadas creates a perfect, crispy texture, contrasting with the softness of the eggs and salsa. Cornbread breakfast bake, casserole. To change up the texture for the holiday breakfast while still being economical, homemakers creatively figured out how to use cornbread and created the cornbread breakfast casserole with sausage and eggs. The dish started gaining popularity in the 1970s when holiday brunch menus began to vary and people wanted to experiment with different bread bases. Simply use cornbread as the base for eggs, sausage, and cheese. Breakfast sausage is lightly fried to release its aroma, then spread evenly over the cornbread, followed by a layer of cheese. This is a savory flavor combination that is highly favored in the South. The smart approach to this dish is that cornbread has a distinct moisture and texture, which makes the dish sturdier and absorbs the sausage and cheese flavors very well without getting mushy. By using cornbread instead of bread, our grandmothers and mothers created a dish with a different texture that was still hearty and nutritious. Breakfast enchiladas. For families who loved Mexican flavors but wanted an easier dish in the morning, this hearty breakfast enchiladas casserole is an excellent choice, delivering explosive flavor without much effort. This casserole carries traditional Mexican flavors with a breakfast sausage/cheese filling, rolled into tortillas, then arranged in a baking dish. Grandma then poured the egg custard mixture over it, eggs beaten with half and half and a dash of spices, then gently drizzled over the tortilla rolls. Specifically, she added a layer of refreshing green enchilada sauce, creating a spicy kick balanced by the richness of the cheese and eggs. Mexican-style enchilada casserole was popular in the Southwest from the 70s. Home cooks could even prepare this dish up to 2 days in advance, allowing them to be completely free on holiday morning, a perfect strategy for large gatherings. This hearty casserole delivers an explosive flavor suitable for big families and those who love Southwest cuisine. If you found the recipes and cooking tips in this video interesting, don't forget to hit the hype button below so we can spread these recipes together. Ham and asparagus strata casserole. The festive breakfast becomes elegant and colorful with ham and asparagus strata. Ham and asparagus strata was favored for Easter and Mother's Day from the 1970s to 1980s. They usually used cubed Italian bread, diced ham, then lightly blanched the asparagus to keep its vibrant green color and slight crispness. Next, eggs were added along with milk and a touch of cream, creating a smooth, rich custard mixture. When layering in the pan, she alternated ham, asparagus, and bread, pouring the custard slowly to soak evenly without making the bread soggy. The key difference is that Grandma used Gruyere cheese instead of cheddar, creating a nutty, rich flavor that blended wonderfully with the asparagus. This dish can be prepared ahead and refrigerated for up to a day. When baked, the surface is beautifully golden, the custard sets softly, and the asparagus retains its green color. This is proof of Grandma's excellent meal organization skills, transforming simple ingredients into a sophisticated breakfast, making everyone feel excited and fully enjoy the festive atmosphere. Spinach Florentine breakfast casserole. When needing to elevate the holiday breakfast to a more sophisticated level while retaining the convenience of a make-ahead casserole, our grandmother would choose the Florentine dish. This meal is associated with lavish brunches of the upper class and was popular in major cities like New York from the mid-20th century. It uses small pieces of English muffins instead of bread, combined with frozen spinach, which needs to be thoroughly squeezed to avoid making the dish soggy, garlic, onion, and especially rich mascarpone cheese along with Parmesan. This dish requires a bit more technique. First, sauté the onion and garlic, then mix with spinach and mascarpone cheese. To achieve the perfect texture, the casserole needs to rest for at least 1 hour or up to 12 hours in the refrigerator before baking, allowing the flavors to meld and the bread to soak thoroughly. Using English muffins provides a beautiful presentation, elevating the holiday dish, transforming it into a dinner party menu, simplified into a breakfast. This is evidence of Grandma's finesse, not just limited to using up leftovers, but also creating more delicate, complex dishes worthy of the festive atmosphere while ensuring the convenience of a casserole. Sausage breakfast casserole. The classic sausage casserole, inspired by the famous Jimmy Dean recipe, is a sure bet for serving a crowd without worrying about anyone going hungry. Italian pork sausage is cooked and crumbled, draining the fat, but Grandma often saved a little sausage fat to drizzle over the bread before baking to make the casserole tastier. This mixture is layered with cubed stale bread and cheddar cheese, then the egg milk mixture is poured over. This dish was often made ahead and refrigerated overnight by Grandma, an easy way to serve a complete breakfast. Furthermore, she could even bake and freeze the entire dish to use on a later holiday. This dish was a breakfast staple in the Midwest and Pennsylvania from about 1970 to 1990, serving large groups, especially in rural families during Christmas. This is a hearty, make-ahead meal that allowed the cook to join the family and enjoy Christmas morning activities without being busy in the kitchen, giving the homemakers of the pastime to enjoy with their children and grandchildren. French toast casserole. Instead of standing and flipping each slice of bread on a hot griddle, this make-ahead French toast recipe is a perfect example of Grandma's smartness in managing holiday time. This dish was popular in New England from the 1970s to 1990s, a convenient version of French toast for many people. Spongy bread, brioche, or sourdough cut into cubes is soaked in egg milk custard, sugar, vanilla, and cinnamon. The special element is the crispy topping, made from melted butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon, which is drizzled over before baking, creating a perfect contrast between the soft interior and the crispy crust. Soaking overnight is the key to achieving a soft, smooth, custardy interior. A minimum soak time of 30 minutes is needed. Grandma always ensured the bread was dry so it would absorb the custard better and hold its shape when baked. This dish is likened to a cross between French toast and bread pudding, bringing a sweet and cozy feeling to the festive breakfast. The baked casserole can be frozen and reheated, making it the simplest and most economical way to serve the beloved French toast dish to a large crowd. Zucchini breakfast casserole. From the tough days of the last century, our grandparents created a vegetable-focused casserole that was still delicious and presentable on the holiday table. With just shredded zucchini, chopped plum tomatoes, fresh basil leaves, ricotta and Parmesan cheeses, eggs, and cubed day-old bread, Grandma could make the zucchini breakfast casserole. First, she washed and thinly shredded the zucchini and then meticulously squeezed out the excess water. This step determines the crispness of the casserole. Plum tomatoes were chopped, mixed with thinly sliced fresh basil leaves and ricotta and Parmesan cheeses, creating a fragrant and rich filling. She gently mixed the eggs with milk, drizzling evenly over the prepared vegetables. The cubed stale bread was cut into medium pieces, layered alternately between the vegetables, giving the dish a firm yet soft texture. When baked, the eggs set, the cheese melted, the surface was lightly golden, and an appealing aroma spread. Most of this casserole can be prepared the night before and is perfectly suited for formal brunch parties. Cinnamon roll apple casserole. There were winter mornings when the smell of cinnamon and apple filled the house, and the cinnamon roll apple casserole was Grandma's secret to creating that warm feeling. Canned cinnamon rolls are cut into bite-sized pieces, then arranged in a baking dish. Next comes a layer of soft apple filling, mixed with a little brown sugar and cinnamon, spread evenly over the rolls. The important part is letting the pan soak in the refrigerator overnight, allowing the flavors to meld optimally. The next morning, she sprinkled a rich, crispy streusel topping over the top, then put the pan in the oven, baking until the rolls were golden, the icing creamy, and the cinnamon aroma filled the kitchen. When cut into pieces, the rolls are soft inside, lightly crisp outside, combined with the sweet apple and fragrant cinnamon, making it feel like enjoying fresh from the bakery pastries. This dish was famous in the U.S. starting in the 1980s, spreading the smell of cinnamon and apple throughout the kitchen on those cold winter mornings. This is an ideal breakfast for large families, saving time while being full of flavor, surprising everyone with Grandma's cleverness and finesse. Baked blueberry French toast casserole. When it came to sweet dishes for holiday breakfast, our grandmother always knew how to satisfy both adults and children without having to stand by the stove frying each slice of bread with the baked blueberry French toast casserole. Cubed rustic bread is soaked in a rich custard of eggs, milk, heavy cream, and the bright flavor of lemon zest, along with fresh or frozen blueberries. To ensure the casserole achieves a smooth interior and a crispy exterior, Grandma often dried the bread 1 to 2 days before soaking, as stale bread absorbs the custard better. A crispy topping made from sugar and butter is sprinkled on top before baking to create an attractive crunch. This dish can be soaked for a minimum of 30 minutes or left overnight in the refrigerator. The baked casserole can even be frozen and reheated for a later holiday. This dish was popular on the East Coast and in major cities around 1980 to 1990, offering high convenience for serving breakfast to large groups, staying warm and fragrant for a long time. It is a cozy meal, avoiding the need to stand and fry individual slices of French toast for a crowd, a perfect make-ahead solution for busy mornings. Breakfast frittata. If you now need a vegetarian, healthy, and filling dish for holiday feasts, try Grandma's recipe for breakfast frittata, made with potatoes, red bell peppers, and spinach. This dish helps utilize leftover potatoes without adding meat, making it a smart and delicate choice, often made for Thanksgiving or Easter from the 20th century. The recipe is incredibly simple, including fingerling potatoes, red onion, red bell pepper, and baby spinach. The red onion and bell pepper are chopped and sautéed with a little olive oil before mixing with the fresh baby spinach, creating a vegetable base that is soft yet retains some crispness. The unique point is that Grandma used ground turmeric to give the dish a naturally vibrant yellow color and add a subtle earthy flavor, making the dish not only delicious, but also visually appealing. The reason this dish was favored by grandmas is that it could be cooked completely the day before and reheated in the oven the next day. This is the trick for a perfect breakfast without much preparation early in the morning. Everything bagel breakfast casserole. If you've always loved the explosive flavor of a bagel sandwich in the morning, Grandma will show you how to turn it into a creative casserole, serving the whole family without much effort. The ingredients are fresh. Everything bagels cut into bite-sized cubes, ensuring each piece retains the characteristic crunchy crust. Next, Grandma prepared cream cheese spread evenly, interspersed with chopped bacon or lox, then added shredded cheddar cheese. Mix the ingredients thoroughly before pouring the egg mixture over, allowing everything to soak. But you must remember absolutely not to assemble too early if you want to maintain a good texture. The everything bagel sandwich casserole started gaining popularity in the 1980s to 1990s in major cities. This dish is not only hearty and easy to eat, but also provides a modern brunch experience, combining the classic flavor of a bagel with the convenience of a casserole. This way, Grandma both preserved the distinctive flavor of the bagel sandwich and transformed it into an appealing holiday brunch, leaving everyone delighted and full. If you've watched videos on the channel before and are back again, please comment and "I'm back" so we know you're still here and ready to discover the next exciting recipes. Peach cobbler French toast casserole. If you want a creative twist on French toast, Grandma would show you how to make the sweet French toast casserole with peaches, a dish that is both sweet and fresh, thanks to seasonal fruit. The bread is brioche or sourdough, cut into bite-sized cubes. Next is the fruit layer. Peaches cut into small pieces, mixed with a little brown sugar and vanilla. Then eggs are beaten with milk, sugar, and a bit of cream, creating a smooth custard mixture, which is then evenly poured over the bread and fruit layers, ensuring the bread soaks thoroughly without becoming soggy. This dish is allowed to soak for a while before baking, which helps the bread become soft and thoroughly infused with flavor. When baked, the surface turns golden brown and the smell of fruit and vanilla fills the kitchen, making everyone want to taste it immediately. Grandma often topped it with a layer of maple syrup or sprinkled powdered sugar before serving, creating a flavor and decorative highlight. This sweet casserole version was popular in East Coast cities from the 1980s to 1990s, making for a fresh and appealing breakfast. Monte Cristo breakfast casserole. If you've ever wanted to turn holiday breakfast into a luxurious restaurant brunch experience at home, the Croissant Monte Cristo Casserole is Grandma's secret. This dish is a bold combination of sweet and savory flavors. It was popular in California and New York in the late 20th century. Stale croissants cut in half are stuffed with smoked ham, smoked turkey, and Swiss cheese. The egg custard is mixed with Dijon mustard for richness and a slight tangy flavor. After baking, the dish is covered with powdered sugar and drizzled with raspberry jam mixed with maple syrup, creating a balance between savory and sweet. Grandma always reminded that stale croissants absorb the egg mixture better. The dish must be made and refrigerated for 8 to 12 hours before baking to ensure the pastry puffs up and remains soft. This meal is not only full of flavor, but also brings a fashionable feel, making the whole family appreciate the subtlety and skill in every small detail. A simple but impressive secret passed down by Grandma. Shrimp and grits casserole. The shrimp and grits casserole is a special dish that families living near the coast often make on Christmas morning, featuring the distinctive seaside flavor of the South. This dish originated in the coastal South, Georgia and South Carolina, around the mid-20th century, reflecting the abundance of seafood in this region. Grits are cooked with cream and a bit of butter, stirring continuously until the cornmeal is soft, smooth, and pliable, but still retains a light texture. Fresh shrimp is quickly sautéed with butter, garlic, and Old Bay seasoning. Once the shrimp is cooked, Grandma mixed the shrimp with the grits, sprinkled shredded cheddar cheese, seasoned with little pepper and salt, stirring gently so the ingredients blended without crushing the shrimp. The mixture is then poured into a buttered baking dish, topping it with a few small pieces of butter so the surface browns evenly and becomes fragrant when baked. Cooked grits, cornmeal with shrimp and cream, make the dish hearty and keep it warm well, perfect for serving a crowd on a cold morning. This casserole is filling, but still retains the distinctive seaside flavor of the South, a special holiday dish that not every family might make. Salmon casserole. If you want to make an impression at a holiday brunch, Grandma always suggested the smoked salmon bake, both elegant and easy to make. Smoked salmon egg casserole, popular in Christmas brunches among East Coast families, is sophisticated yet simple to prepare. Starting with medium russet potatoes, peeled and diced, then boiled until just tender but not mushy. While the potatoes cook, she cut the smoked salmon into bite-sized pieces, mixing them with chopped fresh dill. Next, prepare the custard mixture consisting of 12 beaten eggs with a little milk, ensuring the eggs are thoroughly mixed. Homemakers could totally cook the potatoes and mix them with the salmon the day before and refrigerate. The next morning, just add the eggs and bake. This dish is both hearty and refined, ideal for Christmas or special brunches, allowing older guests to feel proud when hosting. Spinach and mushroom breakfast strata. The spinach and mushroom strata was popular in New England from the 1970s to 1980s, a secret to upgrading brunch to be elegant, easy to make, and yet refined. The ingredients are fresh mushrooms and baby spinach, which are lightly sautéed with a little butter after chopping to retain their original flavor and prevent releasing too much water. Stale bread is cut into cubes, spread evenly in the baking dish, alternated with mushrooms and spinach, creating a layered structure. Back then, Grandma would usually prepare and soak it overnight, allowing the flavors to meld. The next morning, all that was needed was baking. When baked, the casserole surface is lightly golden. The custard sets softly, and the mushrooms and vegetables retain their freshness and aroma, combined with soft bread that isn't mushy. This strata is an upgraded version of traditional egg-soaked bread, offering a refined brunch experience suitable for elegant gatherings. Thanks to smart and meticulous preparation, Grandma transformed simple ingredients into a dish that was both beautiful and delicious, making everyone feel the refinement and thoughtfulness in the holiday breakfast. Grandma's smart casseroles not only made holiday breakfast delicious, but also demonstrated timeless creativity and ingenuity. If you love these convenient yet appealing cooking secrets, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos from the channel. And if you want to keep exploring incredibly smart cooking tips, check out the video, 25 Genius Grandma Cooking Tricks You'll Wish You Knew Sooner, right away, to discover more unusual but highly appealing recipes, like beating eggs with mayonnaise for silky, smooth eggs, or using pickle juice to give potato salad a unique flavor.